Hey, welcome to example 7 of our proof examples. And we're going to get going on this one. I'm going to start right away with number 1. Now make sure whenever you write a statement and a reason, you number them and make sure that they match up. So the first one is going to be that BD is the angle bisector of angle ADC. And that reason is given. Right? That one's easy. Now, noticing that angle ADC is a straight line and its bisector BD is bisecting it, I have congruent angles. So statement 2, I can lead right in from statement 1, angle ADB. Not only is ADB congruent to angle CDB, but because ADC is a straight line and because it's bisected, then I can say that ADB and CDB are, in fact, right angles. All right, and the reason there is just because I took a straight line and defined it, or cut it, I can say that's just the definition of an angle bisector. Right, we came right from angle bisector and used that, so there's that. All right, I had 1 led into 2. Now, leading in from number 2, if I have right angles, I can now say triangle ADB and triangle CDB are right triangles, and that reason is the definition of a right triangle. A right triangle just has to have a right angle. Sorry, definition of a right triangle. That was definition of an angle bisector. If I have right triangles, that is going to help me. And now I'm going to take my next statement, statement 4, and I'm going to say that AB is congruent to CB, and that's right there, AB congruent to CB. And that reason is given. Again, just like we had from the beginning. All right, and also I can go to step 5 here. I have that BD is congruent to BD. Reason is the reflexive property. So I can mark that congruent. I never marked my right angles there. And now I have a segment, I have a hypotenuse and a leg. So step 6, I can say triangle BAD is congruent to triangle BCD. And on step 6, that reason is HL. And the reasoning for that, to get HL, I had step 3. And then was my right angle, my right triangles. Step 4 is the hypotenuse, and step 5 is the leg, and I have my congruent triangles. Hey, welcome to example 8. Let's get going right away. Here is statement number 1, and we can say that BD is perpendicular to AB, and that reason is given. And the same idea, I'm going to say and BD is perpendicular to DE in the same exact given statement. So you can do that if you would like to put 2 givens in one. And if they are perpendicular, leading right into that, step 2, well then I can say angle ABC and angle EDC are right angles. And that reason, right from number 1, is the definition of perpendicular. If you have things that are perpendicular, like BD perpendicular to AB, then that means that you have perpendicular. Perpendicular lines means right angle. So the definition of perpendicular gets me to a right angle. And from that, I can go right into step 3. So I can say angle ABC is congruent to angle EDC. And the reason there is that all right angles are congruent. All right, that's a fact, right? You guys would know that for sure. All right, keep moving on. So we had perpendicular led to right angles, which led to congruence. All right, and then next I'm going to use my other given in step 4. BC is congruent to DC. Reason 4 is that it is given. And I should label here, so I have a right angle, BC and DC are congruent. My next thing, I can look at my picture and I can say, well, I know for a fact that angle BCA is congruent to angle DCE, and reasoning there is that they are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. Right, so let's label that as well. And now take a look. I have my congruent triangles. So step 6, triangle BCA is congruent to triangle DCE. And reason 6 is that I have angle, side, angle, and that came from step 3, 4, and 5. So make sure you're telling us where they came from, because you might have done this in a different order, and that's okay. And then based on that, step 7, I can say that angle A is congruent to angle E, because if I have congruent triangles, then corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. There you have it.